All right. Call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All right, I got a quick video. This is an article based off of article from Natural Health 365. That's the source of this article. You can find this article via the blacklistednews.com. Okay, which it says C-19 detention camps proposed by New York State bill. Now this article was published January the 12th, 2020, 2021, the year of hastening. Okay, Elder Apostle Tahar coined term. I mean, that's this year. What this year would be. All right, in this article, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I had a few precepts I wanted to bring out. Um, it says it's been over a year since the C-19 pandemic began. Well, I'm reading. I'm going to substitute out some words. Don't mind me. But it says now even as lockdowns and curfews persist and the vaccine rollout continues across Babylon, we continue to find ourselves surprised by the troubling, if not creative ways the government officials attempt to squeeze more control out of the situation. Yeah, because these Edomites, okay, and with Jake, all right, following the narrative in high positions. What this article says, it says to squeeze more control out of the situation, right? By the government's shutting down these different businesses and uh, putting these various mandates and talking about these legislations that they want. It's just going to be interesting to see how the Biden administration, when he comes in, what he's going to do, because there's a lot of talk of forced lockdowns. Um, like this article's talking about concentration camps, which that's all pursuant to prophecy. It talks about the time of Jacob's trouble, also a time since never since there was a nation. When you go into the book of Daniel, 12th chapter, time of trouble such as never since there was a nation. All right, so there's all of this talk going on. Is scripture talk about rumors and rumors of wars and rumors, you know, because there's a lot of talk being implemented, and you don't know, oh, are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? Well, we have to wait and see. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But ultimately, according to the scriptures, Esau Edom is going to do something. All right. So it says the latest heralding example is a New York State sponsored proposal that demands detention camps for anyone identified as a case, contact, or carrier of a contagious disease. It's a horror, Shalakia, harrowing revelation. It says, and would be so even if there weren't already serious questions about the C-19 testing accuracy and false positive rates. C-19 camps on the horizon, disturbing details about how free citizens should be forcibly detained. The New York State Assembly bill in question is called Bill A416 and is sponsored by a Democratic member of the New York State Assembly, Nick Perry. Okay, so you got to watch them Democrats, man. All right, y'all thought that y'all got Donald Trump out. Okay, we put Biden and we had to turn the chapter on the Trump administration. But guess what? You're going to get a whole administration worse. All right, at least on the Trump administration, you got to eat. You had cheap gas prices. All right, but coming into this next administration, okay, you're going to deal with a lot of stuff that you wouldn't even expect. All right, but going back to those Democrats, they control the Senate and the House. They have the majority. All right, and now they can push any legislation, any agenda that Biden wants to push through. All right, which is you're gonna have more division. All right, you thought you had division, now you're gonna have more division coming in. All right, as these totalitarian measures that the government implements, because they're gonna be looking to implement this come this year. These different draconian measures. All right, but I'm not gonna keep on talking, keep on reading. It says, so Nick Perry, this guy, he's a Democrat in New York. As of January 4th, 2021, the bill has been introduced to the 2021 and 2022 legislative sessions and is currently in front of the Assembly Health Committee. Yeah, because now we're coming into the time of these different states opening their general assemblies, and they're going to be voting on different bills to tax, all right, different measures, okay, different things to come into law, which is going to ultimately have effect on you average citizens, okay, you average everyday Babylonian citizens. It says Bill A416 in summary relates to the removal of cases, contacts, and carriers of communicable diseases that are potentially dangerous to the public health. The bill doesn't mention C19 specifically, and a similar bill was almost introduced and fell flat during the legislative session of 2015, 2016, which that probably goes back to the time where they had in New York, they had those measles outbreaks, I believe. I think it was a measles outbreak in New York, and people were going crazy. But this was the basically the catalyst, because Esau is he's gradual in his things. He does things in certain places, makes a big fuss over it to push an agenda. All right. Back then they tried to pass a bill back in 2015, 2016, but they said it fell flat. It fell flat. Now you're more inclined to passing different bills because of the situation that you're facing with. That's why Esau Edom, the thing that they have is a Hegelian dialectic order out of chaos. All right, so you create chaos, and then you have an order already set up, which you prescribe. That's how Esau Edom gets down, man. All right, they already had bills and they already had this in place. It just wasn't the time, all right, to implement it. But now, as people are dying, people are suffering. All right, the idea, okay, is it could be opened up, it could be passed. All right, because Esau passes these different bills and legislations a lot of times through crisis. All right, he'll wait till a crisis occurs, and then the American people will be begging, or the Babylonian people, the average Babylonian citizen, will be begging for some type of law. Even if the law takes away from their freedoms, they'll accept it. You know, because that's how on the low level that these people are on. Right, these people should have been rioted. They should have been protest. All right, they should have been doing that years ago. All right, but they're going to be forced to do it. Why? Because they're hungry. So let me get into some scriptures real quick. I'm not going to keep on rambling. I just want to get into some scriptures real quick. I had a few scriptures that I wanted to bring out. Let's start out with Micah 2. Micah 2 in the book of Micah. I got my sword. I don't have my apocrypha with me. But this is the book of Micah 2 and 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And that's those Edomites, okay? Your top going up to the top elites, all right, to your different politicians, your top leaders, all right? They have the power, okay, to devise iniquity, all right, what, through their legislation, right? Taking people away from their family, because that's what this bill is going to have. You know, people talk about bills having uh, ramifications. You know, the different laws that are being passed have negative ramifications. All right, this is something that's going to have negative ramifications if this is passed. But right now, this is something that the bill is being talked about. It says the bill would allow officials to approve detentions unilaterally, but require a court order within 60 days of confinement. Require detainees to submit to medical examinations and or complete an appropriate prescribed course of treatment, preventative medication, or vaccination, okay, which would be legally enforceable so long as officials procure a court order. All right. It says not present in the bill are any specific time frames, criteria, or locations for these detentions. Details that, if the bill were to be passed, would ultimately be left up to the discretion of the New York governor at the moment, Governor Andrew Cuomo. And we've seen the stance that this guy Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo has. Okay, when it comes, we see his stance. All right, he's down. He's definitely down with the enforcement of these different mandates. What used to be scoffed at as a conspiracy theory is now creeping into American legislature. When will the insanity end? It says the threat to the American citizens' medical autonomy seems only to grow greater as the pandemic wears on. The call for the removal or detention of New York residents, as well as the requirement of global vaccine passports, are just two examples of this. Yet it seems that only months ago that concerned consumers and freer thinkers were voicing their concerns over exactly these issues, and we're simply brushed off by as conspiratorial. All right, so what the elites do, what the government does through their media, all right, is they any concerns that people have with their personal private rights, they just blow them off and declare people as conspiracy theories, so on and so forth. But it says, woe to them, back in Micah 2:1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. All right, so we're dealing with a nation of people, and particularly these Edomites that we are ruled over by, all right, that have the ability to go to sleep, think upon some wickedness or dream up some wickedness, and when the morning comes, they put it into writing and have it in the legislation, and they pass the bills, all right, to make Jake's life more harder. Because ultimately, who is these different legislations going to affect? It's going to affect Jake, all right, because Jake is not inclined to wanting to go along. Certain of them are not inclined of wanting to go along with Edom's agenda, all right. This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And this is going to be grievous to certain people. All right, if this bill actually comes to pass, comes into fruition. All right. And as a men of the Lord, we're looking for things like this to happen, to fulfill this precept right here. When it says, this is Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So this devil, he knows he has but a short time, all right, to implement his new world order agenda, all right. So he has to come down with these draconian mandates, all right. These talks. Oh, the scriptures call him the dragon, all right. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, he spake like a dragon. Okay, he's gonna come down and show himself to be the dragon that the scriptures say, right? With these different draconian mandates. All right, let me get another preset real quick while I'm waiting for this thing to load up. This is the book of Psalm, the 10th chapter. Yeah, this is Psalm, the 10th chapter. It says, Psalms 10:2. It says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. All right? His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far off out of his sight. And as for all his enemies, he puffeth up at them. Yeah, the scriptures say that his ways are always grievous. All right? So he's always grievous in his ways, man. All right? So this devil, man, he's showing himself to be the devil. All right? And that's what he's supposed to do. All right? But a lot of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're not going to see it until it's too late. All right? You're not going to see it until you're in these concentration camps. you're not going to understand it until you take these vaccines, and now you're having spasms and all types of ill side effects, all right, for complying with this devil. Ultimately, you're going to take his microchip, okay, and the microchip is going to mess you up. It's going to jack you up. All right, hold on. Let's see. Let's see if I can find. Let me get it real quick. It goes right here. This is Revelation 13 and 11. Right? Revelation 13:11. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. All right, and the first beast that represents the Roman Empire, right? Because the Roman Empire, when it went down, okay, it never really went down, right? We're in the last leg of the Roman Empire. It says, and he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. So, this is the last leg of the Roman Empire, okay? And they're coming with those miracles, which in this case, you have the vaccine, all right? Which they're trying to work it out to be a miracle to try to get you back to acclimated to a new society, you know? But, ultimately, these different measures, that Esau Edom is putting into place is ultimately going to lead to his downfall. The scriptures say, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness, which they prescribe. Right, so with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakudash, right, the water, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, right, for giving us the understanding in these times where everybody don't have understanding, and double honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, right, who taught us this word through the spirit power, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Right, until the next episode, Shalom.